Okay, first off, I apologize for noise. I'm leaving the windows open because it's a million degrees in my office, and I want some airflow. Oh, and also for this nasty shirt. But you know, when you've got a baby and they get food, kind of just food and drool all over you, at some point you have to stop caring. It's necessary to your survival, actually, to just let it go. And you know that's really relevant to just everything. You know, when you get a life changing thing like a kid, you have to learn how to let things go. I wasn't actually going anywhere with that. Let's see. I've been doing more thinking. I was working on a title for my project, and I mean, I've got one, but there are practical considerations that I'm just not sure on, and I really wish that I had somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of, somebody that is experienced with YouTube, because I there's just so many things that I know that I don't know, and man, it would be nice to have a mentor. You know, I think that a lot and about everything, not just YouTube stuff. But yeah, okay. Since it doesn't actually matter, I'll just talk about it. The name that I've been thinking of is Room to Grow, and I like it because because of the feeling I get when I think of the phrase, which is just a positive spin on on needing to do some work on myself, you know, and that's something that I think is important. It's important to have a positive mindset about getting better, about growing. But the difficult part is that when you are growing, you invariably are dealing with your deficits and your shortcomings, and they one can inhibit the other. So if you sorry, I'm not going to try and make this about you. If I am in denial about my lack of experience or lack of knowledge on a topic, well, that denial is it's going to make it harder for me to get better. It's going to make it harder for me to get to the point where I can actually take in new information and grow. And that's been something, I've been aware of that for a little while now, but I need constant reminding. And I like the idea of building something around that, because I want to let go. Hey, going back. I want to let go of my tendency to try and pretend that I've got it all figured out. I want to be done with that. And that's a really hard thing to let go of, because apparently at some point that became part of my personality. That became part of just who I am, was that I had the answer. I knew what to do, and it was better than what everyone else was doing, You're just saying it out loud, is kind of painful. But that's really in there, and I don't like it. So, in order to get better, in order to mature, to grow, I need to own up to it. I need to be face to face with it, and I need to acknowledge it, and you know what? Maybe even appreciate it. Maybe look at it and say, hey, you know, maybe not the best now, but maybe it got you through something in the past, and maybe that helped you at one point, but now it's time to move on. I don't want to, just kind of just poop all over myself. I want to be a teammate to myself. So I want to get better. I want to grow, and that necessitates being okay with not knowing, because if you know, then there's nowhere, oh God, I'm so sorry, to grow. I hate myself. It's still true. As cheesy as that sounded, that was unplanned. If I knew that was coming, I would have stopped recording. But it's still true. And I know that that has prevented me from growing. I've got a lot of childish traits that are still hanging on because, for many reasons, I'm sure, but partly because my ego won't let me acknowledge that I've got those deficits, that I've got those flaws. So, room to grow is just a nice way to phrase it that sounds good to me. It makes me feel like, oh yeah, I've got room to grow. And all of a sudden then I can look at that, I can look at the project or the incomplete picture that I am, and I can think, yes, no, I've got potential. I've got places to expand, room to grow. I'm struggling with coming up with a good phrase. I'm not usually this airheaded here, but it just feels good. And I hope that then it'll feel good for other people that hear the phrase and see what I'm doing, and maybe that puts them in a more receptive mood, so that when I'm talking about concepts and ideas and change, they'll be more willing to, or more likely to, think about it and to chew on it and give it a shot. And it's not so much that I'm going to, dispense valuable information. I hope that I do, but again, that's another just kind of egotistical trait of mine. Instead, what I hope I can do is, talk about concepts, introduce some strategies, but really get people to consider and to think about and be a kind of an active member in their own psychology, I guess. This is what happens when I don't plan and I just start talking. I get to make stuff up. There's the train. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there because I think I'm just going to ramble, and that's not cool. But thank you, and I'll update you on how the Room to Grow thing pans out. I know there isn't really much in the way available on social. Like I can't get the handle Room to Grow or anything, not to mention the URL. But I may still go with it and just deal with it. We'll see. Okay, thanks, and I'll see you next time.